Hi! Hey guys, so this week we are going to do a lighthouse. And this lighthouse, you can design your own. How do you want this to be? It could be this way, vertical, or horizontal. So it's up to you, okay? I personally like horizontals, so I will do that. And we're just kind of sketching what kind of things do we have that is in a lighthouse. So there's other things that we might see, and I think for me, I'm just going to put a lighthouse somewhere out there. So I'm just going to draw. I'm going to draw very lightly, and I am going to put a lighthouse somewhere, and you can design your own. Make sure it's not too big, okay? Make sure it's a little bit smaller so we have room for the top. And you can have whatever you guys want. For me, it's just a lot of this and that. And I'm drawing gently, okay? So have them draw very gently, and so the pencils don't scrape the paper. Okay, for me, I'm gonna have a little like that. Okay. And then inside of that, there is a light bulb. So I'm gonna have a light bulb inside there. Okay, and then you will need some windows. So, I mean, of course, like no one lives there, but there might be a security guard over there, so you might need something like that. And on the outside, do you guys want a sign that says what kind of place is this? So it'll be kind of fun, I think, for me to have a sign, and you can name this whatever you want. We're gonna use a different method for the watercolor, so just kind of have fun with it, but please don't draw too detailed, okay? We're not going to draw like too many things here. We're mostly focusing with colors and just doing a lot of cool tricks here. Right, I think I might want a house here. Okay, I think I want to have like a very cute house here. So something like that. You can have more village here, but usually houses near the lighthouse are very simple because the lighthouses are like very far away in the sea. So it gets very windy and no one really wants to live there. But you can create something that's different than realistic world. Okay, so I'm going to have this cliff right here, like this, and then this will be my ocean. So I'm going to just very gently, okay, so see I have a cliff. I'm using very light pencils, so in case you can't see it, that's how it look. And then make sure the water is going to be flat, okay? If you want like a calm water, you're gonna draw something like flat line. You're gonna make sure the lines are flat. Okay, so like this. You're going to draw a flat line like that because the sea is calm. Okay, there you have a lighthouse. Okay, so this is the part we're gonna have fun with watercolor. we're going to start out with the lightest color first, which is the background and the sky, okay? The sky will be the lightest color, and we're going to prepare a little bit of the color onto our palette, okay? So first, we did this before, not sure if you guys remember. So put water here first, and then you're going to, so use the biggest brush you have, and then you can put a little tiny drops of color in there, and then you are going to start preparing. So what kind of sky do you want? Do you want a pinkish one? Do you want a blue one? Okay, for me, I think I probably want something a little bit pinkish. So it's like a sunset. So I just happen to want that color. And so I got a little bit of red. So I wiggle in here, and then I got a little bit of blue, and I wiggle in there. This is just the darkest blue, and the red is I just pick a color randomly. It's not like any specific red. But for the blue, I think I'm going to wiggle a little bit more and put it here. But see, the color got darker already. We're going to make sure this is not as dark. Okay, so this is just for me. I am going to put color. I'm going to put water everywhere in the background first. Now, I go back and dip in the water, okay? So I'm going to show you how I do this. So for me, I take the brush and I go here, and then I go back to my bottle, my jar, and then I do it again. I kind of are not touching that, so I skip that. I skip the lighthouse. Okay, so over here, do this one and you stop, and then you skip the lighthouse, but you always go in and dip the water again. Okay, that is going to make this stay wet. But we don't want this to be flooding. We only want this to be wet. So only the sky is wet. Okay, now it's time. Now I'm just gonna put this aside. I'm done with this one. And I check my paper. Everything's shiny. Oh, I think I saw a line here. That's dry. Okay, so but supposedly everything's shiny. And then I am going to use my smaller brush like this one, and I'm going to start putting pink. So I'm just having fun with the pink here and there. So I come back to the color that I prepared, and I'm just putting pink everywhere. This will give that soft look. If I want more pink, I go here and add a little bit more water to it. Okay, I don't come here and put the red directly from here onto the paper, because that is going to be too dark. So for me, I'm just going to do this, and then I probably want some yellow. Okay, so I wash my brush out, and then I'm gonna come back and do the yellow. This. Oh, sorry, not the yellow, the orange. I think I'm gonna want my red. Okay, see, this part is a little bit too red, so I'm going to come here to the other side and to the other side for this. Okay, I think I might just keep the top red as well. And maybe the topmost part will be a little bit of blue. I mean, the sky cannot really go wrong with other colors, so just kind of have fun with whatever color you want, but don't use green, please. Not green. Anything but green. Right, so we have this done, and you see there's puddles here. When I wiggle this, there's puddles. So can you use a dry brush and just use a paper towel, dry it up. Use a paper towel, dry up your brush, and then you see it's gonna act like a vacuum. I'm gonna dry this up. So I'm drying this up like this, and then I'm drying this up as well. Okay, so this is what I'm doing. Alright, I'm just gonna leave him alone, and then I'm going to do the bottom part. The bottom part is kind of similar to here, except that we're going to I was thinking maybe we should make this a little bit darker. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more red in here. Just give that line look, because it's like really faded out. Okay, so I added some more red inside to see how it look, and sorry. Please do not draw these yet. We're going to keep these clean, okay, and dry. And we're going to use a dryer and dry it up before we do anything else. Okay. So I'm drying mine up. Okay, look, this part is too wet. There's all these puddles coming out, so please just dry them up. Just pat it with a paper towel. So mine is pretty dry. That means when I touch this, it feels cold, and it has that really, really pale pink that I kind of like. If you want something a little bit darker, then you just have to do a second coat on it, or you would use a different method. But we will make this part darker, so it's gonna have a nice contrast. Okay, so for the other areas, I would think since we're done with sky, let's use a smaller brush. So something like this, okay? A medium-sized brush. So, right, I'm starting to grow my nails. So we're going to start from the lightest start. And oh yeah, I forgot. It's supposed to be transparent. Oh man, okay. I am going to just make this inside here because this is supposed to be transparent. Alright. So I'm just putting that color back in, and then I'm making sure the outside is the same color as the inside. So this part is going to be transparent. Oh yeah, okay, got it. So for the other parts, now we're going to use this one for bigger areas like the grass and the sea, but if we're doing small details like this one, we're going to use a smaller brush like this, okay? Or something even smaller like that. Focus, focus, focus. Okay, yeah, good, focusing. All right. But I'm going to make sure this one's dry already. So I'm going to use a blow dryer again. So let's get to the fun part. We're going to use, okay, I am going to make this red. Yep. So I'm just going to add a little bit of water to my brush, and then I'm going to come here and just keep tapping and tapping and tapping and tapping. And I'm going to rest my arm here on the paper since it's dry, right? You just do that, and then you can slowly wiggle this in like this to get that color perfect. I mean, if you kind of came out, it's okay. Okay, I'm going to show you what happens when I come up. Like if I painted this, some kids might be screaming, what happened? Okay, so if you did that, don't worry. You're going to do this. You're going to use a clean brush and slowly wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Okay, this is a clean brush with water. And wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And to get this color out of that area. I mean, it might not look perfect, but it does the job. Okay. All right, see? I fixed this. I fixed it. So that's what happens when you have some kind of mistake, and that's how you will fix it. But now remember, you wet this part, right? What do you have to do? You have to dry it up. So please dry it up before you work further. I'm going to dry it up. Okay, and then I am going to do brown. Okay, I have a specific color. Okay, I think you guys can just work on your own things, but kind of make sure each color is kind of dry before you do the other things. It's going to help a lot. Okay, so I think this part is wet, but yeah, the colors are similar. I am not really worried about it like messing up the other color, so I'm just going to do this. Right, I am just adding more paint here like that. If you want to add shadows, you could do it with a darker color, and then you can clean your brush and then come back here and kind of wiggle, 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 wiggle in between the walls. So now this has a very nice shadow. Hold on. Focus. 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 It's not focusing. Focus. Focus. Okay, yeah, it's focusing. You guys see that? Okay. So this is a little bit lighter, and it gets a little bit darker here on this side. I mean, it's not too obvious, but yeah, it's fine. So I am going to wiggle a little bit of black. A little tiny bit of black here. I think this might take a while for beginners. Yeah, I'm gonna do it in another way, I guess. Okay, so I am thinking this is going to be like a stylized painting. So I am going to give it a little bit more freedom. Alright, I'm gonna keep that yellow because that's part of the light, right? Part of the light, so I'm gonna keep that yellow. And for the rest of the things, I'm just gonna color whatever color I want. Maybe a little bit of brown here. And let's see. This house might look cute with blue. So at this point, just kind of do your own things. And I know everyone probably have different drawings. So if it looks transparent, please just wiggle a little bit more and then go back to your drawing. See, mine was transparent here, so I wiggle a little bit more to make sure the paint are the same color throughout the house. Or unless you're doing it for style, then you would probably do more of that. Right? So I kind of have to wait for that to dry, unless I purposely want that to fade. Let me see. Okay, I'm gonna show you. If I want that to fade, I will probably use a little bit of brown and just do this. Here. So I use a little bit of dark brown, and I just kind of do that. And then you can also do this to the side of the house, so it has a little bit of shadow here. That just makes things look cool. Alright, let's get to the grass. So we're done with the house. Looks cool. Okay. You can think about what kind of color you want, but I would suggest wetting the ground. Actually, I would suggest wetting the ocean first. Okay, so let's do the ocean first, because the ocean is going to get a little bit lighter towards here. So that's what I want. Now, if you want to add a little details, you can do that. You can do that after we're done with the painting. So you don't really have to do it right now. So I wet this. I made sure that this ocean part is completely wet with a clean brush, right? And then I'm going in to do the blue, but I'm going to start with a lighter blue first, okay? So pick a color that you like. I kind of like like the turquoise color. So I'm gonna wiggle a little bit, just a little bit. Don't wiggle too much. And then I'm just gonna come here and do that first. So I'm doing this first. And then I'm letting it spread. And then I wanna add in the darker blue. So okay, so I'm using the same brush and I'm going to go with darker blue, but I'm doing it this way. So you see my brush is here and I'm doing this way sideways, okay, on the top. Because if you do it like this, it's hard to control your brush. But if you hold the brush this way, and then it's going to be better. Ooh, look at that. Isn't it awesome? Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna let it spread like that. Look, we have something awesome. And I like that, the fact that this one will just slowly spread to the bottom. Look at that, that's so therapeutic. Focus, focus, focus. It's not really focusing, okay. Yeah, focus, good, okay. That's great. All right, I'm gonna just ignore that. So I clean my brush, and then I am going to just make sure it has no puddles because I'm gonna dry it up now. So, and I can add in a ship later. I can add in other things here that I want. I'm gonna dry it up first. Okay, so my paper looks kind of dry already. I am just gonna leave it like that. But then I'm going to go to this part. Now, this part you can just kind of have fun. I would say that there might be a lot of different colors. I am going to do the dark grass, the fake grass color kind of thing. So I'm using different type of brown. So I'm using the bigger one, still using this one. And I'm just gonna come here. I don't need to wet the paper first, okay? So for this part, we're not gonna wet the paper, but we are gonna use different browns. So once you have that, clean your brush a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna put my brush here. Like that. No. Okay. I'm gonna clean my brush and then I'm gonna use other browns. And I'm gonna connect with the brown that I just used. And I'm going to avoid these things. But you see, I am using the same color that I had here. So they are going to be the same. Okay, so I have that done. And I'm cleaning my brush again to make sure the brush is wet, right? And then I could go and do other colors. So I think I'm gonna have a little bit of this color, like the yellowish color, like right here. Okay, see right now, I put in these two and they're not blending because it's kind of transparent. But yeah, I am hoping they will be friends. But no, it's gonna take They take a while for them. So for your colors, I will just say kind of have fun, do a little bit of brown, a little bit of green, and just have fun with it. Ugh, I'm making this dirty. Dry it up, dry it up, dry it up. Okay. And then I am kind of using the two colors, and I'm making this really weird color, which I kind of like the dirtier colors. Clean my brush, and I'm going to go back to do different colors. So this is just a fun way to do the colors, to have a lot of like intense colors here and there. And I saw that some areas they have like purple. I'm gonna add a little bit of purple and see how I look. Purple and brown. Interesting mix. Doesn't look bad actually. So I did add a little bit of purple here, and then maybe I wanted to have a little bit of blue as well. Ta-da! I keep on dirtying my painting. Actually, I like it. No, actually, no. I'm okay. Gonna take it out. Okay, so at this point, you're kind of done. Some of you might want more things going on. Some of you might not. It's up to you. You can start using the smaller brush to paint other things. Or let's see. What else are we gonna paint? We could do like a stylized, we could do a stylized, like the grass. Right. That would be like something like this. Really like that. To kind of signify that there is a lot of wet stuff going on here. Okay, yeah, that might not look nice. It's too wet. Okay, so I'm using a dry brush and I'm trying to fix that line here. It's going kind of like zigzag, which is not what I intended. But so I'm cleaning up my mess with the dry brush and just kind of making that line straighter so it doesn't look like a bunch of caterpillars. There, kind of nicer. Okay, I think my windows need a little bit more work here and there, and I probably should have a nice door color. Okay, and then the signs. Yes, the sign. What kind of sign do you guys want? A yellow sign, a red sign, a gray sign. I think I'm gonna go with a gray sign. So I'm gonna put a little bit of water and a little bit of black, and I'm just going to go around this. And it kind of suggests that this is a gray sign. And kind of color in, yeah, looks better. Okay, so by this time, I think we could do the rest with the color pencils. Or maybe marker. markers? Nah. Okay, let me see. Oh, let me see. Okay, color pencil. Alright, so I am going to use. Okay, keep changing my mind. Okay, I'm going to use a pencil. I am going to just add more things here. Okay. No, I didn't really want to add that because in the beginning because I was not sure how it might look. But now I think I am doing okay. So I'm going to add a lot of the big birds here. And if you guys want to add boats, you guys can. I have a bunch of things here and there. I kind of like the stylized look a lot. Okay, I'm gonna blow dry this because it's wet. So I am kind of going along with my painting and kind of start having whatever ideas that pops in my head. And sometimes you get these big birds. So some are small, some are big. You just draw wings like this and another wing like that. That's gonna make it look like a huge bird. And some are really tiny in the back. There are usually a lot of things around here. I kind of like the stylized ones a lot. If you're teaching this to your own kid, just have them enjoy their own artwork and praise them a lot. Because whatever ideas that they have will be unique. Okay, so I'm using a pencil. I'm just outlining whatever things I want to write. For me, maybe this one. Maybe. Oh, I'm gonna have a shadow here. Okay. Home. 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 And a heart. Okay, I'm gonna write I love my home. So yeah, just something my kids would write. I love my home. Okay, and a shadow here. And yeah, by this time they're gonna be tired, they're gonna be whiny. But the older kids could stay a little bit longer. Just ask them to add a little bit of shadow like this. And then use a clean brush, a dry clean brush, and wiggle off the side. So this is going to look better. Okay. I'm going to do that. I'm going to add a little bit more shadow there. And a little bit there. So by this time, I think we're doing okay. And you can have the cutest thing here. Since this part is not that like dark, you can have rocks here. Like, I didn't really want to do this in the beginning because I was not sure how my painting would turn out. But now I kind of know. Yeah, you could do more things here. Like, I know a lot of kids, they cannot really draw well with color, with watercolor, but they could do it with pencil. And okay. So I have a lot of rocks here. And then maybe you can have more things here. Or you could be done with it. I think it's gonna look cute. Okay, and always put your dates. For this year is, actually I'm gonna put on outside. I'm gonna take this tape off. Okay, so I'm taking this tape off. Just having that tape really brings things, makes things look nice. Okay. Put another tape off. And I gotta go pick up my oops. Okay, another one off. Ta-da! There you have it. All done. Ta-da! It's pretty cute.